All devices are constantly in a state of drifting and failing. None of these devices are designed to last forever. Our industrial steam boilers, or even hot water boilers, are governed by a number of different consensus codes, right? So one of those codes would be ASME CSD1, so the American Society of Mechanical Engineers Combustion Safety Device Code. And that code tells boiler manufacturers and control manufacturers and burner manufacturers what are all the different safety interlocks and switches that are required to make sure that system, that equipment runs safely. So it dictates that we need to have high and low gas pressure switches and double block gas valves and a high steam pressure switch and all these different things. And so safety device testing is where a trained technician from a boiler service company would come out to the facility and verify that every single one of those safety devices is set and will trip at the right points. All devices are constantly in a state of drifting and failing. None of these devices are designed to last forever. And so how often do we need to come out and validate that those safety devices are doing their job? Well, some safety devices, like level switches, oftentimes we're testing those every day. Usually we're testing those every day ourselves. But a technician is going to come out and, as a kind of a third-party professional, open and inspect and validate that safety device is doing its job. Other ones, like our high steam pressure switch, are much harder to test on our own. And so that testing involves maybe an external pressure source that we're going to use to pressurize that switch to ensure that it's set at the right pressure per the code, and to ensure that when it actuates or activates, that it does in fact cut off the fuel supply to the boiler and force it into a post-purge situation. So safety device testing kind of gets thrown around a lot, and I can't even give you a list of all the devices because different boilers, different sizes, different pressures, different installations have different required safeties that all should be validated and tested by your boiler service professional when they come out and do that. Now, how often do we need that done? Well, CSD1 says once a year. So as kind of a rule of thumb, once a year is pretty typical. Now, conveniently, we're also in many jurisdictions doing a once a year boiler internal, and that state inspector or that insurance inspector may also be out at that time. So that can be a really convenient time to have that boiler professional come out and do safety device testing, as well as a burner tune-up and opening up that boiler for that third-party auditor as well. Not in all jurisdictions are the rules the same, but as kind of a rule of thumb, annually would be the minimum that we would want to do safety device testing. Like I said, those components aren't designed to last forever. So how long do you want to count on a switch that hasn't been tested? More than a year starts to feel pretty dicey.